Oh, stop it.
Yes! Show them how it's done.
Oh my darling, oh that.
It's Real Beats. Dr. Dollar Entertainment.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tochi. If you are new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Today we're going to be delving into part 3 of our series, African Parents Care Too Much About What People Think, and we're going to be focusing on
how basically African parents try and create their children to be the perfect husband or wife for somebody else.
the reasons why they do it, how they do it, and the impact it has on everyone involved.
And why this is actually a problem.
And the kind of external pressures it puts on people, unrealistic expectations. We're going to get into it.
Everything.
And joining me, we have Dola!
Hey! Thank you,
Who is a Nigerian living in America.
If I tell you, say I love you.
So if this interests you, keep
watching. You know, I just feel that as raising a child is never easy. And as Nigerian parents, we all know we appreciate you, we appreciate your support, never-ending love for us. But there's some things that just need to change about how you raise us, basically.
Yeah.
From an early age, I felt that, in order to get to be a wife and to marry, first of all, I have to get married before I'm 25, because my mom got married early as well. But times have changed. Right? Times have changed. It's okay to focus on your career if you want to, and whoever wants to love you, whoever is going to be your significant spouse, will actually appreciate that about you and will not try and change you. And that's what I feel is an issue in terms of parenting in Nigerian households. From an early age, I felt that in order to be a wife and a good wife, I have to learn how to cook.
I have to know how to clean.
Right.
I have to wake up before the sun. I have to sweep the entire house before a certain time. And granted, like, these are all great qualities to have.
Of course.
But that doesn't mean you'll have a successful marriage. Also, I think like the ways in which we're created to be the perfect spouse is so different from men and women.
Oh.
So we're gonna try and like touch on
the gender roles. It's too much.
Gender roles are ridiculous.
Gender roles in Nigeria are way too much.
Why is it that I'm washing plates and my brother's not washing plates?
Exactly.
Sometimes I want to wash the car too.
Exactly. Or why is it that, even though our mothers also had to work and so did our dads, but somehow mother had to also make sure that everyone was fed. She's tired too. Once in a time we can also switch it up. It's okay.
It's okay for you to know how to cook. You won't be seen as any less of a man because you have an apron on.
It's really shit. My sister's calling me.
No, it's fine.
Hello, Anna. What's up?
So I feel like when it comes to, as a woman, Dola and I are Nigerian, so giving the opinions of Nigerian women, but we know this applies to, other cultures, other traditions, other people. But as a Nigerian woman, it's just like I felt, at least when I was younger, I've always been, I think, an out-of-the-box person. And that has always been seen, at least it's always been made for me to feel like that's not a great thing. I'll never find someone who loves me, because what kind of man will want a woman who has
opinionated,
who has like strong opinions, or who has piercings in her mouth, or who likes to dye her hair green, or
dreadlocks,
who has locks,
Yeah.
But then I realized that I can't be out here, like the perfect person will come to me
at the right time, in God's timing, right? We're all Nigerian, we all praise God.
That's a whole different conversation. Nigeria's a religion. Okay. Everybody goes to church, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. For women, it's like
our expectations are too high, I believe.
Of men?
No, of women. Like, in terms of society expectations of women in Nigeria, I believe sometimes a bit not sustainable or realistic, exactly. Or, to me at least, when I was growing up, I always felt that, in a way, I was almost like never doing enough. I would still get into one of the best schools, I would still get another internship, but when I go back to Lagos, I'd be like, okay, are you dating anyone? Or, oh, okay, tell me about your love life. Or, as soon as I graduated even, started hearing comments, oh, soon it's marriage. Or, oh, I see DOLA'S liking all this Bella Nigeria stuff. Oh, she's ready for marriage. Like, is that all we're talking about? How about, oh, where's Dola? Like, working, or what are her next steps in moving forward. Do you understand? Financial stability. Hey, I work down.
Women, the expectations that are ahead of us is that we're taught to feel like if we are molded into this thing, then we'll have a successful marriage. So if you can cook, you'll be successful. If you can wake up before the sun, you'll be successful. If you I don't know, all of these things. And then also with men, it's like if you're financially stable, then you have a successful marriage. But then that also invites just unfair expectations and puts on pressures on people, like men feeling like less of a man because they're not where they want to be financially. And that's not fair, because I don't think people realize, at least for men, like you can build with someone. You don't have to be 30 and a millionaire in order to potential.
Yes.
People don't, I feel like Nigerians don't give opportunity for potential. You have to be perfect, and at that perfect point, then you can get married. That's not how life works.
It can't be 0 to 100. Like personally, I want someone where I can start off even at 50 and then we grow together. That's also how you build.
At 50?
You know what I mean? Like 0 to 100.
Oh.
Like find someone who you can grow with. No one is, even when you think someone is at 100, they probably have a lot to develop themselves
and
as
you
well.
know what? We also end up, let's say, okay, if we're going on this 0 to 100 scale, and we want society to think we're at 100, but we're actually at 50, so then we end up like starting a relationship with someone with a facade that looks like 100, but really we're at 50, and we have so much growing to do. And I don't think Nigerians, like, no one is perfect.
No one is perfect.
Growth is something that happens all the time.
Exactly.
So relationships shouldn't be about looking perfect all the time. It should be like we're growing together. And so when you teach your daughter from when she's younger that unless she knows how to cook, she won't have a successful marriage. I'm sure there are marriages out there that are not successful and the woman knows how to cook. Your marriage is not defined by how you've been molded into.
It. Even the billionaire who has so much money doesn't necessarily mean he knows how to treat his wife. He'll know how to take care of his children, actually show love to his children. It's not about just the dollar signs. And I feel that as with men as well, they think, okay, you talk to a guy around that age, he's like, oh, I'm not ready for marriage because I want to get to a certain amount of money. But if you're only focusing about money and you're not focusing about your own growth, how are you actually going to really like lead your family? It's not just money. You can't just put a dollar sign to every problem you have.
But,
do you understand?
But it's also not their fault. Like the society we're from teaches men that they like financial stability equals successful relationship.
And that's the issue.
Or with women, it's like if you look a certain way, act a certain way, successful marriage.
We're in our 20s. We're gonna start getting married soon. What do we want to do?
If that's what you want.
If that's what you want.
Because it's also okay to not want to get married.
Very true.
It's okay if you don't want to have kids. It's okay.
No, do whatever makes you happy, fam.
Honestly,
do whatever makes you happy.
I cannot imagine, like, of course, there are people, like, I know that people who like marriage is like, you know, that's what they want.
Yeah, and that's
but there are
how
also
we're raised.
people who don't want to get married. And I feel like in Nigerian society, saying you don't want to get married is almost like saying
it's almost an abomination.
It's almost an abomination.
It's like, what do you mean? What about your mother, your child, your father?
The guilt.
Everything guilt.
Do you want me to have grandkids?
Stop guilt tripping us.
Like, guy, okay, yeah, I do, but also like at the end of the day, is this what I want? It's not about you being able to tell your friends you have grandkids, or you being able to tell this person or that person. If your child don't want to have kids, or if your child doesn't want to get married,
to be honest, like, stop using your children to show off to your other friends.
Stop using your kids as bragging rights.
Please stop. Bragging rights, it's just, the pressure is way too much.
Too much.
You understand?
And the fact that has a mental health, dude.
Mental health, it's too much because you feel like you're never good enough for even your parents. You want to support them, you want to make them proud of you, but like, at the end of the day, they're always going to have different views and you're just different. Do you understand? There's a reason why they're your parents, for them to guide you, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to accept and just go abide by everything they say.
You know what,
that's okay.
Now that you say guide, I think Nigerian parents, and this is not like a jab at my mom and dad, please don't know. These are based off like experiences I've also heard from other people, from like friends. Yeah. I love my parents. Please let me just put it out there. I love my parents.
Love you guys.
I love you guys.
Wow, so thank God for you every day.
No, for real. Like, I love my parents so much.
God bless you.
The Nigerian parents, there's a difference between guiding your child and then like guiding as in you're in the passenger seat telling them, oh, turn this way, and then taking over the wheel. And I feel like people take over the wheel and then we're left to make it seem like we're driving, but we're not. If the car were to crash, you'll now be like the one you in the driver's seats.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like, nah, actually you were, but okay.
It's happened to me many times that in terms of my mom has given me advice, most of the time she's right, but they also have to learn through your experiences and your own mistakes, because that's how you're going to find yourself. If you're not making your own mistakes by someone else, you're just going to basically be living by someone else's life and someone else's guide.
Exactly. So we basically need to stop putting pressure on people, on women and men, to be the perfect mold for someone else, and just let people be comfortable being who they are, because the right person will fall in love with you for who you are, and that's what I personally think creates a very healthy, successful relationship. Is you being who you are and not trying to be who you think someone wants you to be.
Put on this facade that, oh yeah, I'm into this, I'm into that, you know, to make it seem like, oh, I'm such a quality babe, I'm going to get married fast, but then these aren't really the things you're interested in. He's not really going to know who you are, and the same applies for a man as well. Like, you, as Nigerians, like, we need to just be more open about the things we like, and even if it's not really mainstream, that is okay.
Exactly.
I'm so grateful for social media, because I really think it's allowing a lot of, like, the youth in Nigeria to be more expressive about who they are as children, as individuals, as youth, and just really, you know, not necessarily caring too much about the older generation. I think with social media, we finally have a chance to like have a voice.
To bring it full circle, all of this is a result of Nigerian parents caring too much about what other people think.
And I get it. Honestly, I get it in terms of like, you want to have a legacy. You've had so many jobs, you've raised how many children, you know, it's been stressful, and we appreciate your hard work. And understand why you want to have a legacy. But that does not mean necessarily you have to control that child.
Like, control them in a way that how you're defining perfect.
Exactly, and how you think society is going to view your child. Nigerian parents, you guys talk about how you don't really care about what other people think, but really that's the number one thing they think.
You know, people love to say, I don't care what people think.
Exactly, in Nigeria, I don't care what they think.
If your child wants to dye her hair like that.
Exactly.
Oh, but do you know, like, people will think that you're
how can you do this to our family name, family reputation, or whatever? You need to understand that everyone is different.
You need to be focusing on people's character. Exactly. On their morals.
Personal development. That is what it's about, because at the end of the day, your child, he or she, is going to enter this marriage, maybe not know who they really are, and be very confused. It's not easy, right? As children, you know.
And the thing is, wait, I just want to say, we're saying children, but I'm 24.
Yeah. What is it?
The thing is, we say kids, because obviously, like, as Nigerians, you're a child. Forever.
Even when you're married, you're still a child.
You're still a child.
I'll still slap you if I want to. I'm like, okay, oh, sorry, ma.
So when you've entered a relationship as someone who is not necessarily who they are, but who's been curated for someone else. At this point, you're trying to figure out who you are while you're in a relationship with someone else who's probably also trying to figure out who they are.
Probably not that successful.
But because we're Nigerian, we don't want anyone to know our relationship is not perfect.
No, I told you, how's your relationship?
It's great!
It's great! I see all the photos on social media, man. You got your
it. How is it? Great!
Perfect.
Awesome.
I cannot be happier, but really.
But y'all have been sleeping in separate beds for the past 2 weeks.
It's not the case.
Bad.
We need to be more open about. We cannot be perfect. To be honest.
And the thing is, you'll know that other people are having
struggling
the same issues as you.
But
Nigerian is so stressful.
It's stressful.
It's so stressful.
Not even just about being the perfect wife, being the perfect person, to be honest. All relates to it. We have this kind of like standards of how someone is supposed to look, how someone is supposed to act. And a lot of materialistic people, both Nigerian and non-Nigerian, trying to kind of be someone who we think other people want us to be.
But I've never told them like this.
Good guys, let's go.
But like, I've always seen myself, like, okay, when I was younger, of course, I was young, so I didn't really think about relationships and all of that. But as those Nigerian pressures used to really back down on me, I used to think like, wow, like no one's actually gonna like fall in love with me because I don't look like what the perfect partner looks like in Nigeria. But then I have friends like Dola who like aesthetically fit that mold, like everything just very put together and all of that. But now I've realized, like, the thing is, don't I actually have aside from the fact that like my edges don't be laid,
girl, you
and my lashes don't be fleeky,
skin flawless though.
Like we have so much in common, but in Nigeria, if it comes to like if someone were looking for a wife for their child, and they were to look at both Dola and I know for a fact they will look at Dola and go that
one
because you know like
put on better Nigeria.
But do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And it's like, but if you start us both down, you realize like we have so much in common aside from how we look. So it's like, yes, we also try to create these perfect. Nigerian parents try to create these perfect personas, but they also try to just look perfect on the surface.
Not really know who you are inside. We focus too much on the wedding and not necessarily the marriage after. And that's my issue right there.
We focus too much on the wedding and not the marriage.
We focus way too much on the wedding, and it's an issue because it's like, I feel even you hear stories after a year later, they're in couple therapy, they're seeing the pastor every day, the wife is unhappy and everything, because you think, okay,
a big wedding because you want to show.
Exactly. Okay, we made it, we're here.
Or you want your relationship all over social media, but really like the core of it is not there.
You need to understand who like you're actually like married, not necessarily what they see on paper. Oh, he's this, he comes from this, his family name is this, he went to school here. Those are all good traits to know, but actually understand like whoever you're marrying, and like you guys need to, I feel this is my opinion, but I do think that you need to really know your spouse well.
Yeah.
In the ins
just
and the
because
outs.
you're 28 and you're a woman doesn't mean that
you have to jump
that comes to, let me get married because I'm nearly 30 and I don't want people to think that I'm not.
Can we talk about B3O? When I was young, I was like, okay, by 30, I have to have 2 kids. I have to be in a house. I have to be this. But you know, I'm 24 now, and like by God's grace, like in God's timing, everything. All
Nigerians, in God's grace.
In God's grace.
In God's timing. When was the last time you went to church?
God, last week.
Oh.
But you know what I mean? Like, when, for me, 30, it's kind of like, that back to the expectations of women. I felt like when I was 30, I had to have everything
together.
Like, I need to have found my husband, I need to have had like at least 1 or 2 kids. Everything is sorted. But you know, I see a lot of situations where that's not the case for a lot of women, but they're still very successful. Roxanne! This is Roxanne. OG. She just moved to London, about to start her new live. Popin.com. Woman empowerment.
She's a successful woman.
Man, no more. All by herself.
All by first.
God's good. You haven't talked about what you see in what you want to.
For me, like the perfect partner, honestly, is just someone who loves me for like me.
My spouse, and I'm not going to say perfect spouse because no one is perfect, but the person that I want to marry personally, I need to just know that, first of all, trust has to be there. I need to know that I can be vulnerable with you.
It's not just about money.
Exactly. It's not just about, I don't even think about money, to be honest. I'm thinking more about your traits and your characteristics. Doesn't that matter if you're not successful now, but I know...
If you're defining success by finance.
Exactly, success by finance. But I definitely know that, you know, I see more, for me it's more about your potential, personal traits. I just need to make sure that this is someone who I can see myself being with 10, 20, 30 years. We're not going to get tired of each other because it's not about the materialistic stuff. I
just need a relationship that consists of transparency, communication, and love for who the person actually is. Yeah. Not who society tells you should love. Not who society tells you how you should love.
And also I feel like I totally agree with 100% what she's saying. I still think like marriage is still something so foreign to me. Like, I hear about it all the time, I see it happening, I see my friends getting engaged and I'm so happy, but I still feel like there's still so much that has not been talked about as growing up. For me it was more about, alright, you're just gonna be in this dress, you're gonna get married off, and like, you know, the rest is for you. But I think like we can have these open discussions that we're having now so that we actually can understand more about like what you actually need to do as a wife or as a mother or whatever to make your relationship more sustainable and successful, instead of just saying, okay, you need to know how to cook, you need to know how to do that. And you just need to be more comfortable asking questions and just honestly, Nigerians just being more open in general about some of the things they've struggled with. There's this new TV show called Black Love, I think. I have not watched it.
Oh my gosh, Roxanne was telling me about Black Love.
I haven't watched it, but it's about Black Love.
My mom was telling me about Black Love
and
too.
I kind of get the idea of it, and I think that's so important, and I'm so happy kind of shows like that representing more black people are happening now, and I think if we can apply that to Nigerian society as well, that would be great, because we see so many of the superficial or like the high life, but like in terms of like, you don't see a lot of marriages or you don't see a lot of things on TV or movies where you actually see like a sustainable happy couple and like what they've done, and you actually hear their hardship. Like that type of representation matters as well. It's not just about the glamorous life. That's why we won't even be having these conversations as much, because it will just be out in the open instead of having to just talk to your close friends and be
about
like,
it.
how did you do this? How did you do that? Like what?
And like whispering under, because you don't want anyone to know you're having these issues.
Exactly. Like if you can't talk to your own sisters or your own like close family relatives about it because you want this perception, oh yeah, we just got married a year ago.
You should be able to talk to your community.
Exactly. Like, oh, what do you mean you're having issues? You just got married. Like, just, hold on, it's gonna get better and all that.
Pray about it.
Pray about it. Yes, pray about it if that's what you believe in. But also, like, you have to make action.
God helps those who help themselves.
You have to be proactive. You can't just only in my opinion, in our opinion, just not only just pray about it. You have to make changes. You have to see growth. And that's what I think is an issue. And also some marriages that I see, like, there's not really a lot of growth. Like what they've been doing for 5 years is the same thing, but you expect, something's going to miraculously change, or you're just gonna suddenly get just happier. Like you need to have these honest conversations.
The idea, the stereotype that all Nigerian women like materialistic things and all Nigerian men need to be financially stable need to be financially stable are not necessarily thoughts that we had, but were kind of filtered into us through the ways in which our parents have pressured us to feel like these are things that need to happen in order for successful relationships. And if you talk to people individually, you'll realize that these boundaries, I feel like, have been broken. At least for me personally, like when I think of a perfect partner, I'm not thinking like money. I'm thinking a lot of it is to do with character. Dola's popular, her phone's always going off. No, like, oh, my phone's ringing. My phone's ringing!
At the end of the day, it's just you and your spouse when you get married. There's nobody else. So you guys also need to have these conversations so that we can really just open this space so people understand more that we're not left alone, you know?
Oh, that was great.
Alright, I had a moment.
That was really great. You're perfect the way you are.
Exactly.
Someone will love you the way you are.
Get your attention, pretty girl.
Please hit that, what's it called? Comment below.
Comment below.
We want to hear about you. We want to have an open discussion about this.
That's actually so good. People should comment.
People, please comment below. We want to also have an open discussion. Say that. Alright.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with everyone you know if you haven't already, subscribe, and put on the notification button so you know every time I put out a video. God willing, every Wednesday. See you later.
Make we do the do, cause me I like your booby boo. Everything I got, man, it's all for you. I go be your comedy, I know you show me 32. I want action film, I will keep 'em Hollywood. Sure the carry, back and front is you.